We're not killing anything. We're not giving them room. That's it. Alright, I want to show you what this looks like. Not being toxic, just want to show you. Wow. GG to the opponent. Respect for staying through. What's up, you legends? Welcome back to another deck guide. Before we get into today's video, if you've not already yet subscribed to this channel, please do so now, because I have a goal to reach 5,000 subscribers. I'd really appreciate it if you'd help me out with that. So for today's deck, it's a Venusial board wipeout deck. The leader ability that we're going to be using is Deadeye Ambush, as you can see here. The order is that we get to spawn an Elven Deadeye in an allied row, 3 charges. That's this token unit that you see here. We're really looking to just save leader ability to be used at the very end of a match, right before we deploy Venusial for damage pings that are going to occur according to her ability. So the stratagem that we're using is Saber, as you can see here. This works fantastic with Scenario card when we go first. It activates it quickly and gives us a lot of tempo in one turn. So basically, this is just a great way to get a few more elves on the board as well. And by doing so, it will draw out Ellerin to the board a very quick round 1, as you're going to see in these following matches. So what I'm going to do is run you through this list bottom up and explain how best to play each card and when to play it during a match. So you're going to see at the bottom of our list here, we've got a number of bronze elf units. These are to synergize really with Scenario card, and we'd be looking to play these out round 1. With the bomber, on deploy, damage 2 random enemy units by 2. We have 2 of those. Venusial's commando, nice passive points. It's always good to have. All of our units are practically elf units, so this card should be gaining points at the end of each turn that we play out. Bear in mind, if you play a card like Alyssa, these engines would switch off, so maybe you would not want to play her in round 1 with commando. Maybe you want to save her for later, okay? But in particular, when playing Scenario card round 1, the kind of bronze units I'd like to go for would be the commandos. So both of these. And also the Elven Swordmaster, because they're engines. We get extra value out of them as the round progresses. With this card here, it's melee row locked. Damage an enemy unit by 1. It's got a cooldown of 2. But whenever we play an elf, it reduces its cooldown by 1. Because we have so many elves, it basically turns into 1 point of damage per turn, according to where we like to displace it on the board. So bear in mind, since the Swordmaster is row locked to the melee row, be aware of where you're stacking your units and accumulating units, because you don't want to brick room for this, okay? With the Bowman, great card at 4 provision cost. For max benefit, you want to play this ranged row and target your opponent's unit that is placed on their ranged row. Okay, damage an enemy unit by 1 for each row that separates it from this unit. Definitely a good option round 1 to look for. We have 2 waylays in deck. What we want to do with these waylays is leave them in our deck, and they're going to be thinned out by Simlas at the end of our match, allowing Venusial to play for more points of damage, okay? Because they'll be spawning Elven Deadeyes at that time at the end of a match when we play them out. Damage an enemy unit by 3, spawn an Elven Deadeye in a random allied row. So we're not looking to play these copies from hand. They're always going to be thinned out through Simlas. And as I said, end of the match, we're going to do that. So we have a bit of a unitless theme in this deck that we're running with because we're playing Eldain. And for that matter, we're playing traps, okay? So we have 2 incinerating traps. Damage a unit by 3 is the spring if you decide to manually click it. We like to play it for ambush at best. Damage the next unit your opponent plays on their side by 5. Incinerating traps are usually a nice way to open up into a long round 3 as the first traps that you're going to commit to that round. So round 3 cards, all of the traps that we see here, you'd like to play as much as possible in that fashion, and don't commit them any earlier, because if you do, Eldain's going to play for less value. You got to keep that in mind. We have 2 crushing traps. We're looking to play this for ambush, so we're not springing this. You can if you want, but we're not looking to do that. Damage all enemy units on the row with the most units by 2. So crushing trap will be something that you play late towards the end of the round 3, okay? So hopefully your opponent's got more units on a particular row and it plays for more value because of that. Then we have Pitfall here. You could spring this if you like. On the spring, you can deal random damage 6 between all enemy units. If you leave it for ambush, after your opponent plays a card face up, split damage equal to its provision cost between all enemy units. So Pitfall will play for higher value depending on how well you know your opponent's strategy and your anticipation of what they're likely to play next. Once again, you play this into round 3. This would come later after Incinerating Trap is played out. We do have Alyssa in this deck. Shuffle a special card from your graveyard to your deck. If it was a bronze, also shuffle 1 additional copy of that special. So we're getting Waylay through Scenario and Vanadane in addition to what we have in deck. Once you've played those Waylays out, you're going to play Alyssa some point in the match. This could be in round 3, round 2, whenever you feel it's comfortable to do so. When you play Alyssa, you're going to put the Waylays back in your deck. So then at the end of the match, when you play Simlas, we're going to draw out a ton of Waylays, spawn a lot of Elven Deadeyes. So you might not want to play Alyssa right away, round 1, because as I said, it's kind of counterproductive to the passive points of the commando. Just keep that in mind. Another trap that we have is Serpent Trap. On the spring, you get to destroy the enemy unit with the lowest power. This could work really good if you're going into round 3 and your opponent plays an important unit and you just want to destroy it. You could just play this first thing. Or you can kind of set it up to when you think they're going to play a special card and hopefully get a good value kill off of that. So the ambush is that after your opponent plays a special, destroy the enemy unit with the highest power. Ellerin is in our deck to give it consistency because it thins out from our deck, helping us get to our better cards. At the end of your turn, if you control 5 or more elves, summon this unit from your deck to your melee row. So you have to make sure there's enough room on your melee row for this to come out. Usually we thin Ellerin out round 1, but bear in mind, by the end of the match, we're definitely going to thin Ellerin out because we're doing a lot of different plays, swarming a lot of elf units. So you're always keeping this in your deck. Then we have Vanadane here. Deploy, move up to 2 cards from your hand to the bottom of your deck. Add Waylay to your hand for each card moved that way. Whenever you play Waylay, spawn an Elven Deadeye on this row. I like to use Vanadane before the last activation of the last chapter of the scenario card when we're going first in round 1. So then that Waylay will play for more value because Vanadane's down on the board. So it's definitely a round 1 card in my opinion. It can help getting round control, gives you some good points. You could play those Waylays out that Vanadane gives you in that same round. Or if you want, if you don't have to commit them, you could just leave them in your deck and let Simlas thin out even more for you at the end of a match. Like go for max Waylay plays at the end. So yeah, it's a good card in a deck. Plays for great value. I'm sure everyone's very familiar with this card. Just keep in mind, he's going to be spawning a lot of Elven Deadeyes beside him. So row spacing, you have to keep that in mind when we're committing this card. Royal Decree, you get to play a unit from your deck. I mean, getting scenario round 1 is very important for round control. Sometimes you might go Decree into Avalok Sage to pull scenario. Maybe you want to use Decree at the end of the match to get you Venosial. You'd really be going for your top end cards here, these units, I would say. And then after that, you've got Alyssa to consider. Avalok Sage, elf unit, play an artifact from your deck. In round 1, sometimes we don't get scenario card. I like to use Avalok to get scenario. Plays well any situation because we've got traps in this deck too. Could use him round 3 to get a trap out to make Eldain better as well. So he is ranged through a lot. Keep that in mind. Then we've got Eldain here. Transform all your face-up traps into Elven Deadeye, this token unit that you see here. This is going to make Venosial very good, having Eldain in this deck. So the idea of Eldain is, in round 3, when you've played all of your traps out, your play after all of your traps have been executed would be Eldain. He'll transform all the traps into the token unit, and then soon after we're going to commit Venosial, and she's going to do a lot of random pings of damage. So yep, then we got Venosial here. We're looking to play Venosial deploy melee row. Each allied Elven Deadeye damages a random enemy unit by 2. The token units that you see there. Before we play Venosial, at the end of the match, round 3, expend all your leader ability, get all of your elf units out, and then just go for heaps of damage, as much as possible. We have Simlas here. This would be played perhaps second last in our deck when we're executing this. Play all copies of a bronze special card from your deck. And as I said, we're looking to draw the original waylays that we have in our list, the extra ones used out by Vanadain, and we're going to do that in combination through Alyssa, all right? So keep in mind, we have to make sure the waylays are shuffled back in our deck before we go ahead and commit Simlas. And just go for heaps of damage, and you're going to spawn a lot of token elf units at that time. And then we've got Feign Death here. This is to help us get round control. Round 1 card in combination with Stratagem. It's a very high tempo play. You've got those 2 chapters to work through in activating it. So just make sure you've got enough elf units when you're playing this. We get Venosial's Commando, Deadeye, and Waylay played out. Now that I've run you through the list, let me explain how to execute the strategy for this deck most optimally, in my opinion. Round 1, we want to play Feign Death. We want to commit all of our bronze units. And you can use Vanadain as well. Okay, that should be enough tempo to get us round control. What I'd say with our deck is we just pass round 2 and go for a long round 3. And then we're going to take a unitless theme into round 3. Playing all of our traps. Once you've committed all of your traps out, bear in mind we have to play Alyssa sometime as well, whether you do that round 2 or round 3. But before we play Simlas, make sure you play Alyssa, okay? Then sometime you're going to play Eldain to transform all of these traps into the token units. Once you've done that, you can go ahead and play Simlas, expend all the waylays from your deck, spawn maximum amount of token units. And then your final play will be to expend your leader ability, and you're going to deploy Venosial melee row, making sure there's enough room for her to do that. So hope you enjoy the following matches. Thanks for your support as always. Oh, we got Vanadain. That's good.
Do you hear? They approach.
Goes Vanadain.
Gang them. Dwan will not be heard.
Now we will see who is weak.
Losan Ahenid and Gleana. For the Daisy of the Valley!
Ellerin comes out now.
Humans to the sea!
Time for you to die, Dwan. Accursed racists.
Solid points, huh?
Time to die. I'll do so sword.
Yeah, I can't wait, size. It's gonna be sick, man. Play 2.
Let us sing the song of steel.
play the bronzes out. Yeah, Dogi, I'm going to be revealing a monster card this Thursday. It's going to be occurring. I'll make a post later about it as well. It's actually on purpose, size. I'm playing tactics, man. I'm going in camouflage. I try to sync it sometimes. Thank you, appreciate it.
Look at us. Don't dare think you can escape.
You don't want to wait. It'll be out soon, don't worry. I'll release it right after the guide. I mean, after the stream, sorry. It's good to hear you so keen, but I've actually gotten a fairly good win streak with this. As you guys see, I'm climbing with my score there. It's pretty nice. Yeah.
You're dead already.
Make dwarves great again? Sick. Dwarves are pretty solid. We're still gonna get 4 waylays. Yep, we're looking for traps. Beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, we're looking for traps at this time. Simlas is great. We don't need the bronze units now. Decree is fantastic. Got two traps left in there. We don't want to pull a waylay. We may keep this. It's feign death.
Do you hear? They approach.
The card's likely to grow, isn't it? That would be our best serpent trap, I think. Wouldn't it? It's gonna go tall anyway. Yeah, go ahead. Do it.
May your sword and I be one.
You will see it in your dream.
I mean, this swarming, crushing trap should play good.
Now we will see who is weak.
Nice.
For the daisy of the valley!
Yep.
We will take back what was stolen.
Pitfall now is okay. I think this would be a better time to play it. So, try to stack your stuff range through. Because that way you're leaving more room for Venossiel, because we're looking to play her melee. We have to have room melee row. There's going to be a lot of units coming up. Venossiel,
forgiveness
I'll
for
do so,
traitors.
sword in hand.
Alright, we're gonna get some good damage for sure at a crushing trap. We're hoping to hit their ranged rope to kill that off. We'll play the other. Okay, we didn't get it. They get value back. They can transform the damaged unit now.
Aaron has shown us the way.
We may see Isengrim now.
For the daisy of the valley!
The only good human is a dead human.
We await the signal. Till then, don't budge.
Yo, Sully, what's up? Welcome. Yeah, even?
Coexistence. No such
Time to die. I'll do so, sword in hand.
Yep.
Dogs that bark seldom bite.
Simlas?
Only one with no Z would trust.
They don't have enough room.
Cursed racists.
They don't have enough room. We should not kill anything. Just play Eldain.
These trees
For the
will be
daisy of
your
the valley!
graves.
Hopefully they burn some cards. Good. Yep, yep.
Act your age. At 2 centuries, you behave like you were barely one.
For the daisy of the valley! Time for you to die, Dwan. Aaron has shown us the way.
We're not killing anything. We're not giving them room. That's it.
Not too shabby. Not shabby at all.
Alright, I want to show you what this looks like.
So sword in hand.
Not being toxic, just want to show you.
Cities that were stolen from us.
Wow. GG to the opponent. Respect for staying through. But I want to show you what it looks like as well. Okay.
At last.
Let it forth, Dwan. You stand no chance.
None shall tread on us.
We shall drive the ape men.
Yeah, that's
to
true,
the
man.
sea.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely. You gotta pay close attention, bro. Ah, so... Tempo, we're definitely gonna add tempo. No doubt about it. They'll have very tall units later, though. Very tall. Whatever I play now pretty much activates this.
This is our land, Dwan. You're not welcome here.
Time to die. I'll do so, sword in hand.
Maxi?
You can run, you can hide, but I'm gonna get you.
Okay, that makes sense.
There's the way. For the daisy of the valley!
They should pass, right? It's 40 points, dude. You got a passive engine.
I'm an officer and a gentleman.
I'm very tempted to pass, man. What happens if I pass? I just want to see. It's 44 points. We just end up going a long round. Is it Twitch or YouTube subscription? It's up to you. Obviously Twitch you gotta pay, so just do YouTube. YouTube's free, you know what I mean? So I appreciate it, yeah. If you haven't already. Don't go spending money unless, you know, you have it. You don't have to, it's not necessary. I don't want to be like that with people. But YouTube subscription, you just press the button, it's for free, and it helps me out heaps. Yeah, but thanks for considering it. Do they have the points, man? Nah, they're going all the way down, look. This is gonna be a forfeit. That's it. Yes, I knew it. Thank you for the follow on this win. Oh man, I love those kinds of wins, eh? They're the most satisfying, I swear. Why are you switching up, boss? You told me you got rid of the raging. You're going back to raging, bro. What's going on? Let's get rid of that. Okay. So there's a line there. There's a line. So when it comes to NG, don't back me up, bro. Come on, man.
It's time.
Let's do it.
Let it forth, Duan. You stand no chance. Now we will see who is who. Humans
Let's
to
do
the
it.
sea!
Frost will be good for them here. It's all good, man. I'm just joking, bro. It's all good. Just having a laugh. I know when I play NG, you love it though. You're really hyped when I play NG. Yeah, you don't like him. Oh, that's great, man.
Are you cold, human insect? It won't be long.
Wow.
When the white frost comes, the world will at last be cleansed.
Okay.
Gag them. Dwan will not be heard.
For the daisy of the valley! Time for you to die, Dwan.
Snow elves. They're turning into snow elves. I'm gonna kill the range throw unit. You never know. Could play good if they start dumping a lot of frost. Oh. Just get rid of it.
Daisy of the valley!
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah. Especially if you're not really familiar with the card. Definitely. got dominance.
Time for you to die, Dwan.
Toad. They gotten rid of our engine. Well played. Well played, my friend. You got round control, that's great for you. It's exactly what they want. I think Simlas may come out here. Just might be Simlas. Yes. Go big. Beautiful. Beautiful. Nice. That's what we want. They're underestimating the power of the traps. See that? You gotta be so careful when you're versing trap decks. Go on, pass. You can pass. You can do it. No. Emlerith bit the dust. Red Riders. Just for no reason at all, hey?
A rock toppled and beneath it a scorpion revealed.
Yeah, definitely didn't see it coming. Guys, it's alright. Geralt is keeping us warm, even though there's frost here. As you can see, we've got a nice fireplace happening. We're very snug at the moment. It's all good. Just a touch of Igni there. You know, not enough to hurt you, but just to keep you warm. It's good. That's why the aura's equipped.
We've caught another taskmaster.
Only one with no sense would trust the word of a dwarf.
Racists.
Well, that's gonna grow anyway.
For the daisy of the valley! Time for you to die,
Let's do this. How good's Venosil later? Do I play Venosil now? Five points of damage. Still goes. Okay, right.
Your truly? Who made it yours?
A head. A fitting gift for our king.
Elren has shown us the way.
I don't think Traps isn't going to be good. I think we're going to pull a lot of bronze elves.
I know patience for humans.
Racists.
Probably just doing it like that. Yeah, they kept stacking. We'll just go for the passive points value at this time. Yeah, I believe they got Osrul in there. Well, you'd expect it. But look at their graveyard. It doesn't really look like an Osrul kind of graveyard. I'm not sure. We'll see.
Do you hear? They approach.
Yeah, Griffin's not going to be huge for them. No. So I should wait for Osrul maybe to get a bit more value here.
My heart holds no forgiveness for traitors.
Oh, right, because of Mamuna. Okay. It's a different kind of tempo package. Okay, so patience paid off. We got the extra value out of this. It's good.
You're dead already.
Let's see what it is.
For the daisy of the valley!
Yes! Get some! Woohoo! That's right! Yo, you know what won that? The crossbowman. Me waiting for the Osrul play won us that. Yes! And come back to traps later. We need Vanadane. Wow. Oh man, I literally summoned him. I literally summoned the guy. Now, should I be stacking melee? Probably. I guess it's okay.
Do you hear? They approach.
Now we will see who is
We'll thin Ellerin out.
We will take back what was stolen.
Can play Vanadane here, that's fine. Okay, gives bleeding to Ellerin. think Vanadane's the play now.
This is our land, Dwan.
We can put the
You're
bomb
not
up back.
welcome here.
Probably this.
Racists.
Nice. Great tempo. Very good to see. So we could play the waylays out. Help. Let's get our engines down.
Let us sing the song of steel.
Oh, Detloff. Interesting.
Ren, my Ren.
Aaron has shown us the way. For the daisy of the valley!
There we go. So, we could kill Detloff with a waylay. Probably doing that next.
Aaron has shown us the way.
Still got our bronze unit to play in hand. Oriana's coming out too. Maybe they're doing Witch's Sabbath. Knickers.
Glad fort one. You stand no chance.
For the daisy of the valley!
Hey Zeros, what's up my friend? Squirrel? Oh. Boost off by the number of bleeding enemy units. Should we pass? Maybe. It's probably not good to give up round control, but they played a few good things.
Another little thunderbolt.
Nice. Thanks for your time, appreciate it. Thanks for making the time. Hope you have a good time at work too. So I could use Simlas to resist the bleed. So looking for Venosio and Alyssa. And more like traps now, I think. All right. Passes? Wow. It's pretty much gonna fall into what we're looking to do here. So I do have 2 waylays in graveyard. Could just go for Alyssa.
A rock toppled and beneath it a scorpion revealed.
Legend is here. What's going on? Hey, my friends. Pleased to see you. So I guess we're gonna hope to get Venosil. We missed her. Okay. Yeah, I guess that can happen too. Dergy, what's up? How's things? That's good to hear. Nice. It's a Venosil board wipeout deck. It's got aspects of Simlas with waylays and traps in it. Good to see you too, Legend. Ah, so they're just gonna play Curse out like that? For no value.
Look at us. Don't dare think you can escape.
Hey, what's up, Vass? How are you? So I missed Venosil, unfortunately. I had to throw something good on the pass there. And I used Decree for Alyssa. But the waylays are going to be pretty good, either way. Incubus?
You're one sexy witch and I'm here to please.
So Avalak may get me Crushing Trap, I think. I'll just wait till that bleeding dies down. You never played it? This card's gonna be perfect for you then. It's actually a triple shoot. But yeah, glad you like it. It's pretty interesting when it works, eh? It requires a bit of luck. I think I'm putting Serpent Trap down soon. Sweet. Okay. Nekarat.
You will see it in your dream.
Probably using this now, aren't we?
Elren has shown us the way.
Alright. Hopefully Serpent Trap pops off.
You're dead already.
Good. Eldane's gonna be good points. Simlas is still gonna be good. Should we leave Serpent Trap?
Allow me to play you an
Time to die.
elven
I'll do so sword in hand.
Still got full leader. They have Regis Reborn last. Yeah, they're discarding. They discarded Heatwave? Okay.
Only one with no sense would trust the word of a dwarf.
Elren has shown us the way. For the daisy of the valley! If I'm to die, I'll do so sword in hand. Time for you to die, Dwan.
Looks okay. Doesn't look too bad. See how big their Regis is.
I know.
Nice. We still got it without Venusial.